Afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the ANTN affiliated New Thought Network first ever virtual town hall retreat. I am Reverend Board of ANTN, and we are so pleased that you are with us today, whether live and in person or watching and listening later. We're so glad to have you with us. ANTN, as you may know, is a membership organization of religious science, unity, and other New Thought organizations, centers, and churches, as well as individuals. So ministers, practitioners, as well as lay people and students and those interested in New Thought are all part of this amazing organization. So we are so pleased that you are with us today to learn more about ANTN and about what's going on and what our plans are for the future. To start our time together, would you join me in the light for just a moment? Just deep breath if you would like, get comfortable where you are. Light for just releasing thoughts of what happened earlier today, thoughts of later today or tomorrow, just so that we can be fully present in the lusciousness of this moment. And as we do, we allow ourselves to be reminded of our oneness with the God presence, with one another, and with all of life. And we come together in gratitude for this amazing organization called ANTN, for the wonderful people who are part of our experience today, for this technology that we call Zoom that allows us to do what we do. So we give great thanks. We allow ourselves to just go apart for a little while, for the next 3 hours, to learn, to grow, to be inspired, to be educated, to be entertained. So we give great thanks for this opportunity. I wrap our time together in gratitude, love, and light, and together we say, and so it is. So I would like to introduce Karen Drucker, who will give us some music this morning.
Good morning, all my friends at ANTN. It's Karen Drucker coming to you from San Francisco this morning. How are you? You good? Hope so. So I'm thrilled to be singing for you today. Here's my magic wand that says that you can sing. So I want you to sing along with me. It's all about, what do you choose? What are you choosing? It goes like this. What do I want my day to be? I choose. And what do I want to feel today? I choose. And what do I want to say today? I choose. It's up to me to choose. I choose. I choose. All right, I want you to get up off your seats. Come on, I can see you. I want you to move around the room, kind of our early morning stretch and flex set. And flex and stretch. Okay, it goes like this. Today, I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. That's the whole thing. Here we go. Today, let me hear you. I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. How about happy? Today, I choose to be happy, so happy today. I choose to be happy, happy. How about peaceful? Today, I choose to be peaceful, so peaceful today. I choose to be peaceful, peaceful. Now here's what it comes down to. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want, cause it's all up to me. How about loving today? I choose to be loving, so loving today. I choose to be loving. How about joyful? Today, joyful. I choose to be joyful, so joyful today. I choose to be joyful, joyful. Now I want you to pick your own word. Today, put it in that space. I choose. What's your name? What's your word? To be. Today, I choose. What's your word? To be. All right, pick another word. Today, present, happy, whatever. To be, abundant, healthy. Today, I choose to be. Good job. Whatever I choose is how my day's gonna be. I claim what I want, cause it's all up to me. You know, it's all up to me. Oh, today I choose thankful to be thankful, so thankful today. I choose to be thankful. How about grateful? Let's end with grateful. Today I choose to be grateful, so grateful today. I choose to be grateful, grateful. That line again. To be grateful, grateful. To be grateful, grateful. Big finish. To be grateful, grateful. Oh, give yourselves a round of applause. Do you love my applause button? This is what I learned in the pandemic. Every time I would do a concert, I had to give myself my own applause. All right, well, here's the thing. Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you say every day is thank you, that should be enough. That could be enough right there. But here's a little quote I found. If you thank your mind, it will relax. If you thank your heart, it will open. If you thank your past, it will integrate. If you thank your symptoms, they will heal. If you thank your shadow, it will vanish. If you thank your life, it will transform. And if you thank yourself, the light will dawn. So that's why I say every morning, thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, healing day. That's the whole thing. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this healing, healing day. This healing. All right, now I want you to put it on gallery view. If you're on Zoom, I want you to put it on gallery view. I want you to look around at the little boxes. If it's a webinar, then just say this to yourself. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Look around and say, my wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful. Let's do that again. Pick someone to sing to. Thank you for this, my friends. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful, wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious, glorious life. My glorious, my glorious. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant, my radiant health. My radiant, my radiant. All right, let's go back to thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this healing. Healing, this healing, healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you, Spirit. So it's about gratitude. Every day, saying thank you. Thank you. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. That's the whole thing. Sing with me now. I am so blessed. I'm so blessed. I am so blessed. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful for all that I have. For all that I have, I'm so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. Grateful. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Sing it one more time. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. So blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Just that last line. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. That's the whole thing. Sing with me now. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are a part of me. You are the face. And if you don't know the sign language, it goes like this. You are the face of God. I hold you. You scoop that person's essence into your heart. I hold you in my heart. You are a part, my part, your part, coming together into my heart. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Sing it one more time. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. I hold you in my heart. I do, all of you. You are a part of me. I can feel you. You are the face of God. Just that last line. You are the face of God. Think of someone you love. You are the face of God. Think of someone you have a little issue with. You are the face of God. Now picture yourself looking at yourself in the mirror and say, you are the face of God. Think about all the people you love, all the people in this organization, and say, you are the face of God. So I got one more little song to give you here this morning. Oh, let's rock out a little bit, shall we? You can get up now. Stand up.
No,
Move
I already
around.
stand.
You know what? We're just too blessed to be stressed. We're too grateful to be hateful. We're too blessed to be pissed. You know what? You, me, I, we're just too blessed to be stressed. All right, so here we go. It goes like this. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Not gonna let it get me down. Not gonna let it push me over. Not gonna let it run me around. 'Cause I know the truth. Sing with me now. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed doesn't matter what's on the news. You can't make my mind up for me. You ain't gonna hear me sing the blues, 'cause I know the truth. I'm too blessed to be stressed, too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to get pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. It's time to blow. We all need a kazoo in the morning. Thank you, it's a talent. I am grateful for each breath I take. You say yes, yes. I am grateful, I am wide awake. Yes, yes. I am grateful for each passing day. Yes, yes. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Oh, I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too blessed to be pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Listen to me now. Here you go. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Stressed. Grateful. Grateful. Hateful. I'm too blessed to ever get pissed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too blessed to be. You know, we're in this wonderful Zoom call today. We're part of this great organization. There's no reason at all for us ever to be stressed out, because we are so blessed. Thank you all for listening. Sure appreciate it. Have a great meeting. Hope to see you soon. Love y'all.
Karen Drucker, oh my goodness, always such a great joy. That's a little bit of a variation on the version of that one song. Absolutely love it. Too funny. Well, welcome any of you who have joined us in the last few minutes. We're so glad you're with us. That just was awesome. Thank you, Karen. I would like to introduce the most amazing team of leaders that I work with as the board and the staff of the affiliated New Thought Network, starting with Reverend Dr. Bill Marchioni, who is our vice president and technology guru. Reverend Dr. PJ Stanley is our corporate secretary and leader of Thought Leader Thursday, which you'll hear about later on this morning. Reverend Gabe Beauregard is our treasurer. Reverend Dr. Missy Higginbotham is our representative to Emerson Institute. Reverend Dr. Brock Ford is our membership chairperson and a board member. Reverend Paul Hoyt is the coordinator for this beloved event and a board member. Reverend Denny Ralston serves on our conference committee and is a board member. These people are just amazing and beyond. And if this weren't enough, our staff is our beloved Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington, who is our executive director, and our beloved Reverend Dr. John Karn, who is our administrator. I just don't have the words to tell you how blessed I am. I am not stressed. I am not any of those other things. I am totally blessed, and we as an organization are so totally blessed to have the opportunity to be led by the wisdom, the dedication, the love, the passion of this board and these staff members. So we are so incredibly blessed. So it's been 2022 was the most amazing year, starting with the board deciding that for us as an organization to grow ourselves up, quoting Martha Creek and Edwene Gaines and a few other people, we needed to expand our outreach and expand our vision. And so we had the opportunity to hire our beloved Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington as our executive director. If you don't know Reverend Dr. Michelle, let me tell you, she comes with amazing wisdom, vision, love, passion, and it is my great joy to work with her on a regular basis and also introduce her to tell you about what's been going on, because it's pretty exciting. Reverend Dr. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning, and thank you, Jerry. Hello, everybody. I see so many of my precious friends. I'm going to get a little teary here because I do that. So precious friends that I've known for years, actually decades, right, Dr. Janine? Decades we've known each other. And people I don't know that I look forward to getting to know as time moves forward. And I just thank everyone so much for being on this, our first town hall. Really excited about it. And just kudos to you, Reverend Paul, for being the guiding light behind this. So everything that happens today that works beautifully and perfectly is thanks to Paul and I tell people. If it doesn't work beautifully and perfectly, it's the gods are just, you know, not aligning, whatever, right? Right. So I have a couple of minutes to share with you some of the things that we have accomplished this year. And I'm not going to go over all of them. And in a minute, we're going to get a screen showing you a list. And we're not going to go over them all, I promise. I don't want to be here too long. And Paul is keeping us all on a tight time frame so we can get through everything that we want to talk about today. But we did have a board retreat in January of 22 to establish a lot of things. A lot of things happened at that board retreat. But one of them was that we identified 35 goals that we wanted to accomplish in 2022, and then we went out longer and longer and longer. So we had short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. And what I just want to share with you this morning, you see a portion of the list. We accomplished 16 major goals in 2022, and I just want to highlight a couple of them. One of them is that we said and had in the works for over 2 years a beautiful book that Dr. Carla Ryan, who's on this call today, spearheaded. It was her idea, and she said, "Let's do this." And then, you know, it took a long time. We didn't get it done, but in 2022 we got the book published and handed it out to members, sold it to others as well as members at the retreat in 2022. And it is such a fantastic book. It's called New Thoughts for Today. If you don't have it, you need to get it. And we'll show you in a little bit how you can get that, where you can get that book. So that's just, I mean, if that's all we did, I think in 22, that'd be enough. But we did so much more. We revamped our vision statement so that it really reflected who we are. And it is connecting the New Thought movement through consciousness and love. That is what we're here to do. We got a program called the Extraordinary Support Project up and running. And for those of you who don't know what that project is, I'll be talking about it more a little bit later. We've held workshops for members and friends. That was an idea that was birthed at that board retreat. And we've implemented that by having Your Best Year Yet workshop at the end, toward the end of 22. And that will be something that we move forward as we continue through the years. We did a lot of behind the scenes things that's not very sexy and not very exciting to talk about, but it makes ANTN stable and puts us on such solid grounds. Like we revised, we went through a very big process to revise our bylaws. Huge process, we did that. We created a policies and procedures, roles and responsibilities document that I don't even know how many pages that thing is. It had been started, but we finished it, enhanced it, upgraded, and now it's a guiding light for us to know, how do we do this? Whose job is this? What happened here? We have a document that we can all go to and find out. And oh gosh, so much work was put into that by the board. It's an amazing document. Again, not that sexy, but so very, very important for our organization. One of the biggest things we did was convert to a software package, and you're going to see more of this in a moment, called Wild Apricot, which now incorporates all of our various things we were using. We were using PayPal to take donations. We were using Constant Contact as our mailing list. We were using Eventbrite to register for events. We had a website separate. We had a plug-in on that website to manage members, which didn't work very well and was very expensive. All of that's gone and integrated into one system called Wild Apricot. Kudos, kudos, kudos to Bill Marchioni, who did that for us. John, Reverend John, who has taken a deep dive in all of it to learn it. It's an amazing system, and we converted to that in 22. Let me think. Let me just look at a couple more. One thing that we wanted to do was have our money work for us more than it was. At the beginning of 22, we had over $100,000 sitting in a checking account. Not really the best use of money. So we made the decision to move some of it, not all of it. So we had a goal of having $75,000, a minimum of $75,000 in an investment account. We now have $80,000 in an investment account. So our money, and it's a very liquid, it's a very safe investment, and it's very liquid. We can get it, with a push of a button, we can pull from it if we need to, but it's making money for us. That was one of our goals. Just a couple more that I want to mention. We said we would host a biannual town hall. All right, so that didn't happen in 22, but here it is now. So it's happening today. So I'm very happy about that. We'll do another one later this year. And we're so excited to have this one happening today. And then finally, the thing I want to point out is that this was actually a 2023 goal, but we accomplished it this year, which was to hire a part-time IT person. We have Bill Marchioni, and Jerry introduced him already as our tech guru, and that he is. And without Bill's support, expertise, patience, ability to figure stuff out, we would not be where we are. So I want to say kudos to the board, all the hard work that has happened in 22, which has set the stage for tremendous growth, expansion in consciousness, expansion in outreach, expansion in services, expansion in membership, expansion in finances, all of that. So we are so, it's just so exciting. So those are just some of the things that happened in 22. Stay tuned for more. All right, that's that. So you and I are now up, aren't we, Bill? You're muted, Bill. This is our tech guy, right?
All the technology at my fingertips, and I forget that. Good heavens! Yeah. So we're going to talk about Wild Apricot. It's an association management platform, and it helps us with our members and our non-members and our website and all of the other things that you'd been talking about. And so we're going to do a quick tutorial on the web system. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what's going on with that. This is the ANTN website. This is the ANTN website, and I'm going to unpin Michelle so that we can get a big look at this one. I am absolutely certain that everybody here spends lots of time on the ANTN website, so this is basically going to just be redundant for you because you're already familiar with it. On the off chance that you don't, I want to point out a couple of things about the website. First of all, it's got the ANTN graphics and our theme to it. The menu here, as you'll see, is home and about and events and giving and directory and store and contact and join us and so forth. And as you scroll down a little bit, it's got pictures from the most recent retreat, a list of the upcoming events over here. And then more and more content about things that are going to be relevant to you as members or as to new folks. You can subscribe to the newsletter. You can get some information about the system. One of the most important things on the website, however, is the login button. And it's up here in the top right-hand corner. And when I click login, it's going to ask me for my credentials. And I'm going to log in as the member that I am. Most people don't That was the wrong one. Most people don't have more than one login to the site. I have bunches of them. So I'm logging in as New Thought Philadelphia as the member. It's going to ask to confirm that I am who I am. Let's see, palm trees. I guess I've done this from a couple of different logins before. And once it knows who I am, it's going to bring me into a members page. And you'll see that now there is an additional menu here for members. And there are some other additional pieces in the website that are available for members only. So if you are a member, then when you visit the site, go ahead and log in as a member. What you'll see over here is that even under the upcoming events, now that I'm logged in as a member, I'm seeing the same things that I was seeing before. Today's town hall meeting, the Gather and Gab. I'm also seeing the retreat team meetings. There are 5 of them coming up, and that's for the folks who are planning the fall retreat. So there is an event set up for us to do the planning through Wild Apricot. It's only visible to the people, the members who are in that group. And there are other events that are in here as well. Some that are not showing here. If you want to get a list of all the events, you go to the events page and it'll show you everything that's coming up and give you the details on them. There's the Gather and Gab and the retreat team meetings. Oh, I'm not signed up for this one myself. There's another group that is that's meeting that's not visible to anybody except the people who are participating. This month, ANTN started hosting the leaders of all of the New Thought organizations, getting together Unity and Religious Science and Divine Science and UFBL. And we all get together for a 15-minute prayer call once a month. And ANTN is hosting that because it turns out that we had the name network in our name. So there's a lot of richness and power behind the website system. As other people are sharing, we'll be doing a little more of a dive into that. I'm going to stop talking now, and Michelle is going to point to some stuff, and I'll go ahead and click through to it.
So we could spend our whole 3 hours going through this website because it is so robust, but we won't do that. There are just a few things that people ask us about or they want to know, and you can find it on the website. So this is going to help John's job a lot because he answers a lot of those questions, and not that he minds at all, but the answers to those questions are here. So I just want to start by showing you something, and that's under the About button. And if so, you can see all sorts of things there. But look, Bill's going to click on the New Thought movement. You know, our mission is to connect New Thought community through consciousness and love. This is such a beautiful page. First of all, if you have friends who say, what the heck is New Thought? I don't understand it. And you don't have the words to say it yet, maybe you're a little bit new. Well, this is right here is a lovely brief 2 paragraphs. Obviously, you wouldn't say all of that, but it's a good summary of what New Thought is. But as Bill scrolls down, you're going to see that every New Thought organization that we're aware of is listed here and with a little description. And if you click on to the icon, to their logo, you will go directly to their website. So Bill just clicked on the Divine Science Federation logo, and we just went to their website. So you can find out anything you want about any of these organizations. And this is one way, a small way, but one way. We're doing other ways, but this is one way that we are living our vision, which is to connect the New Thought community. And this is one of my favorite pages. I just think it is so amazing. I get excited about this page. All right, so Bill already talked about events. As you saw, there are events on the homepage, upcoming events on the homepage, and then if you want to drill down, register for something, see how many people are registered, you can do that from the drop-down events menu. And so here you see all the things coming up, and as things get closer and we get them planned, new events pop in, it populates in, obviously old events fall off. If you're not registered yet for the annual 23 retreat, right there it is. You can do that, register now, make sure you're logged in as a member if you are a member, because you get a discount to that retreat if you are in fact a member. All right, Bill, go back to the home, to the main, and let's click over to giving. So clearly, if you wouldn't mind clicking on the main giving page, there you go. Because this is a question that I want to answer a question right here that we get asked all the time. First of all, on the left side is information about how your gifts support ANTN. We're so grateful for that. And how you can give. If Bill scrolls down a little bit more, scroll down a little bit more, Bill, you'll see a way to donate. So simple, so easy. But on the right-hand side, you as a member or friend are invited. Well, let me back up and say, ANTN is a tithing organization. And every quarter, we take 10% of the previous quarter's income and we tithe on it. And you can offer up tithing recommendations. Bill is showing you the form, the online form that you fill out. It goes directly to the people who need to get it. And we will prayerfully decide if this matches our tithing criteria. On that page that you're looking at right now, those paragraphs describe what our criteria are for tithes. It also shows the places, people where we have tithed in the past. So if you have someone or an organization that you think we should tithe to, please jump onto the giving page and click nominate a tithe recipient, and there it is. Bill, will you now drop down to legacy? No, legacy of love real quick, please. So if you're interested, or maybe didn't know you're interested, but now would be, to remember ANTN in your trust or will, your documents that you have, that I hope we all have for when we transition. If you'd like to remember ANTN in that, we would so gratefully receive that. Please think about that. And if you have questions about it, they're probably answered on this page, because we did a lot of research and answered a lot of questions. So it's right there. And all you do is connect with the ANTN administrator, John, if you're interested in pursuing that. And then the final thing on that giving page, I'd like to show that one too, is sponsorships. We have a very specific sponsorship, in addition to retreat sponsorships, which happen every year as we get closer to our retreat. But you could be a sponsor of the ANTN News and Information newsletter that just came out yesterday, by the way. I hope you're all on our mailing list. You must be, because you're here. So you just got it. And that's a robust newsletter that gives lots of information. Big kudos to John for spearheading getting that done. You can sponsor that newsletter, and your sponsorship supports the Extraordinary Support Project, which we'll talk about in a minute. You can sponsor it at the platinum level, the gold level, the silver level. We've only had a handful of, a small handful, a little handful of people or organizations sponsoring this so far. But we invite you, if you feel called to give in addition to your regular giving, sponsor this beautiful Extraordinary Support Project. We would love for you to do that. All right. And then the final place we're going to go on this website is the store. The store. Our store is so much fun, and I see it growing. You know, this is a new, this store just happened 6 months ago or so. I see it growing, but you can go on this and buy things. Remember, I mentioned our book that we got published in 2022. Here it is. You can buy the book, either a single copy or a discounted price for 8. I've ordered 8 books, I think 3 times, because I give them away. And I love being able to do that. And I have my own little side, not little, I have a business that, in addition to being ANTN's executive director, and I sell that book also. I give it as gifts, thank you gifts for people who take classes and mentor with me, but I also sell it. And I have had people buy it from me. So it's very, very cool. And it's just such an amazing book. So there it is. We have ANTN mugs. You can buy, everyone needs an ANTN mug. You can buy from our website. And then, Bill, if you drop down the menu on store to member books, you're going to hear more about this from Brock in a little bit. But if you're an author of a book and an ANTN member, you can have your book right here on the ANTN website with a link that goes directly to wherever you're selling your book. So this is a pretty cool place for our books to get out there, and right there on ANTN's website. All right, let me see what else I want to talk to you about. Yeah, let me talk a little bit, and this isn't, yes, Bill, are you logged in? You're still logged in as a member? Yes, would you go to the Extraordinary Support Project, please? Thank you. So this is an amazing service that not many people have taken advantage of yet. A few have, and we're so happy to be able to support people with this. If you do need to be a member of ANTN, so many reasons to be a member of ANTN, but we offer leadership training, leadership mentoring, tech mentoring, scholarships for Emerson ministerial students, scholarships for attending the annual retreat, all sorts of offerings to our members that you don't pay a penny for. Well, it may be a copay, but you would get a deep discount or it completely covered. And ANTN has a fund, as I showed you before, how you could participate in that fund, a fund of money set aside so we can pay the people who are offering it. So for example, right now, one of our beautiful centers, Center for Conscious Living, I hope it's okay to say this. Yes, it's okay. I see Paul shaking his hands. They applied for technology support. And Bill, because he is our tech guru, is the one providing them with some amazing technology support. And ANTN is paying him because he is one of our approved service providers. So we're not asking our service providers to do things for free. And we think we should pay them. And so we have that money set aside. And so they get paid. But you, as the recipient, are, at least that one, you're getting it as a benefit because you're an ANTN member and you applied for this program. My last thing I want to say about the website, so Paul doesn't pull the hook on me, is that you can become, if you're a member of ANTN, you can become a service provider. And you can apply. There's an apply right there. Service provider application is right there. It takes you through an online questionnaire, asks for your expertise, what would you like to offer, et cetera, et cetera. You fill that out, submit it. The board does make the decision whether or not we feel somebody fits. And here's how much you get paid. You just saw that, how much you get paid. So please, if you are an ANTN member and would like to be a service provider, hop on that, take a look and see and apply. And then last thing is that to the right of that button, you'll see the support requests. So you can click on that button, and this is where you would apply to receive a benefit from the Extraordinary Support Project. All right, last final thing in the last 30 seconds is also as a member, and Brock is going to talk more about this, but I just want you to point it out. As a member, when you click on member, go to resources. Brock and the membership committee's brainchild to create resources that members can go to and grab and use. And right there it is on the website. More about that later. All right, that is your brief tutorial of the ANTN website. Please get on yourself, take a look, and utilize all the great information and services that are there. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Michelle. Questions for Dr. Michelle or Dr. Bill about the website, about the ESP program, about anything we've talked about up until now?
And if you have a question, you can either wave your hand and hopefully we can see you because we've got 60 people who are on the meeting, or there's a little reaction button on the bottom of your Zoom screen and you can make that one work. Lisa, it looks like your protein hand worked. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Usually people don't ask me to unmute, but anyways. My question is, what is the correct way that we submit things to be added to, let's say, ceremonies or books, or for instance, classes that we want to maybe try out with some of our fellow members, what is the correct procedure?
Ooh, I can answer that one.
Go ahead, Bill.
Let me do that. And I'm going to
Yes.
do that by sharing the screen again. So you can see that I'm going to go to events. And the one I'm going to go to is today's event. And if you scroll down on the detail there, it shows you the schedule. And it shows you that Brock is going to talk about that at 9:59. Great question, though. Thank you. And we're definitely going to cover that. Scopy.
Hello. My question is, the services that are provided, like the tech support and all those things, are they only for faith community and other New Thought, or do you provide it for businesses outside of New Thought and faith communities?
If you're a member of ANTN, well, actually, like technology, Bill, I'm going to let you answer that. But my answer is, if you're a member of ANTN and we can support you, we will. But
Yep.
technology-wise, Bill, you take that.
Yeah, and it kind of depends on what the mission is. And we'll get into the details of membership of ANTN a little bit. ANTN has four different levels of membership. One is an individual membership where a person signs up and becomes a member of ANTN, and you can make that a lifetime membership as well, so that it's a perpetual thing rather than an annual renewal. There are organization memberships, which is where your group or your company or your New Thought aligned organization can become a member. And then there are also family memberships, which is two people who are kind of their own little private organization, kind of halfway between there. If you're part of a New Thought organization, then the request for extraordinary support would have to be in alignment with the organization membership. If you're an individual member, then it is in whatever your personal ministry is. So it kind of, we're fitting all the pieces together to make sure that we're supporting our membership in unfolding their work in the world.
Gotcha.
Great question. Thank you. Any other questions? We're dangerously near ahead of time.
There's a question in the chat from Sheila about wild apricot.
And I just answered it. I just answered her. I guess I should have answered everybody, but yes, there is a fee, an annual fee for wild apricot.
Yes, and the fee for wild apricot depends on the number of contacts in the database, because it's going to be the members, it's going to be the email list, it's the people who are attending events, basically everybody who's active in the system. And depending on which tier of the system you're on, there's a free one to start with if you want to try it out, wildapricot.com, I believe, to sign up for it.
Org, I think, Bill.
It winds up being .org when you have a membership, but they're selling the site on apricot.com. And you can try it out, which is what we did for free. And then there's a trial to have a larger one. And then depending on how many people you're emailing to or working with, it's going to be a different cost. And so far for us, because it seems to be in the sweet spot for ANTN, it's worthwhile. And even if it's a little bit pricey, it's definitely been worth doing for us. Great question. Other
What
questions?
else? Did we do such a good job of going over things? No questions?
Or we exhausted everybody?
Yeah, already. We're not even an hour into it.
Yep. Take a deep breath in, let it go. Wiggle some stuff. Yeah, there you go. It's gets better and gets easier. All right. Well, we will have more time for questions and answers later on, and hopefully we're going to be sparking some great questions from you. If you have one, you can put it into the chat, or you can remember it and then raise your hand for later on. Michelle, you want to pick up talking about the workshops?
Yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this. So as I mentioned, one of our goals was to start doing offerings for our membership and friends. And then that evolved into, let's do something quarterly. November, we did the Your Ministry Your Way. That was so well received. And so many people said they couldn't attend, but they wanted to, that we offered it again in January. And kudos to Dr. PJ and Reverend Kim. I saw Kim on here before. I don't know if she's still here, but maybe I'm not seeing everybody. Reverend Kim Andrews and Dr. PJ Stanley and I put that together. So we offered it twice. I think we had more people the second time than we had the first. So that was it was a powerful experience for all of us. And one of our new members mentioned something in the January session that I wrote down immediately, as a future topic. And it was marketing from a spiritual perspective. And so that beautiful new member is Steph St. Amand, who is on this call right now. Steph, wave your hand. There's Steph. She and I had a conversation this week about her doing a retreat, a workshop like that. So she's going to get me a proposal on that. But I'm knowing that proposal will be accepted. I'm saying that as in an affirmative, yes. But we did pick a date for that. It's not up on the website or anything yet, but you can put Saturday, April 29th on your calendar, because that's the date that we're going to offer our second quarter our second quarter workshop. That workshop is free to members. It is $25 to non-members. Well worth the $25 if you're not a member. If you become a member, then you can just tick that $25 off what you paid for membership, because you're getting that retreat for free, or the workshop for free. If you have ideas of things you want to have covered in a workshop, please let me know. I'm the kind of spearheading, organizing this. So let me know if you have an idea. We did have an idea already for support in preparing talks and presentations. We will have one on that. I promise you. It might be the next quarter. But if you do have ideas right now, stick it in the chat to me, or later, let me know. So that's a beautiful thing that we're doing. And I think I've said everything I need to say about it.
Wonderful. And there are two things that our organization loves doing: gathering and gabbing. And so we have a program called Gather and Gab, which is just an informal thing. Gay, can you talk about Gather and Gab for us a little bit?
I'll be happy to do that. It's interesting because this idea came forth from myself and Iris Sauber almost at the same time. And so we talked about it in the board, and we said, yeah, why not? It's a way for people, because Iris, I don't know that she's on here. I'm looking for her and I don't see her here, but she doesn't get to attend the conferences, in-person conferences. And so she wanted to just have some time for us to go on a Zoom call and say hi, and what's going on in your life. And so I do have a testimonial from her that she wrote and gave me. I want to read that. She says, I love ANTN. I love all the people I have met through this organization. I especially enjoy gathering and gab. I work during the day and cannot attend many of the offerings as they occur when I am working. Gather and Gab is on a Sunday evening. It depends on where you're living. It starts for me in the Pacific coast at 5 p.m. on Sundays. So you can go take it from there, which makes it possible for me to attend. I love meeting people from all over the country. There is no agenda, just meet up and chat. Nothing is off limits. It's nice to make new connections with other New Thought people. I encourage everyone to join us. And so it's typically set for the second Sunday of each month. Last month, we changed it because of the Super Bowl. And I have to give my condolences to Bill, who's from Philly, who lost the Super Bowl. But you know what? I was for Kansas City. So
I prefer to think we came in second.
There you go. There you go.
We got a silver in the Super Bowl.
But we just have a fun time just getting together and chatting about things. Celeste tells us where the mistakes are in the Science of Mind textbook, and we learned that. Our beloved Angie was on a call one time, and so if you just check out. It's easy, it's simple, it's, very open-ended. It's an hour, on a Sunday evening. We figured that Sunday would be good because people just don't usually have classes then. And if you do church like I do, it's over by that time of day. And actually, though, I don't think I'm going to be on it this month because I sing with the Martin Luther King Jr. Community Choir and we've got an event. But it's, just go to the events and sign up and get on it. That's what I know about it. And it's wonderful. It's fun.
Yeah, and the thing that I really like about the Gather and Gab is that it is almost completely unstructured. I say almost because there is a structure that is available in there. And it is an opportunity to just connect. And I love to figure out why it is that the people who are on this Zoom meeting are on this Zoom meeting together. And so we chat a little while and we find out where the cross connections happen to be. One of the Gather and Gabs, the person who had been involved in New Thought the longest was Celeste Turkin, who started in the 60s. The person who was the shortest was one of the people from New Thought Philadelphia who had joined the week before, and kind of everything in between. And we got a chance. And by the way, I met Celeste in the first the religious science community I was involved in Florida. So it's just the way that the pieces were connecting together. There's just a lot of richness there as you explore why is this happening and what are we about with this. And we have the possibility when we do these of making it a little bit more structured. We can do a social scramble where we make breakout rooms and put 3 people into a breakout room and give them a prompt. We can do trivia. There's all sorts of different ways to do that. And this is just an opportunity to get together and have some fun with people who are on the same or a similar spiritual path. Do I sound enthusiastic? Should I remind you that it's this Sunday and there's still time to sign up? Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you,
see.
Gabe.
Thank you.
Yeah. Brock, you've got some new benefits for members, not benefits for new members, new benefits for all members.
Benefits for all members. Thank you, Bill. And thank you, Michelle. Michelle touched on a few of them. I might touch on some of those also a little bit, but I'm very excited, y'all. I'm so excited to be on the membership committee and to be working with this great group of people. And the membership committee consists of myself and Mary Beth Spear and Reverend Sherry Johnson, and they are a delight to work with. And we work very hard trying to make sure that y'all know we're here for you. And I'll talk about that in a minute also. But our mission, I wanted to share with you, our mission is to nurture, grow, and support the membership in ways that draws new members into our ANTN family and enhance the members' lives, work, and their callings. And so in that
Rock, you need to unmute yourself. All of a sudden you got muted.
There we go. Are we all right now? Very good. So at any rate, we recently launched the resource section, y'all. I'm so excited about that. We've worked really hard on it. It's by members, for members, to support spiritual leaders, pulpit ministers, independent ministers, musicians, singers, teachers, practitioners, and so on, y'all. We're not just a minister organization. We're an organization that supports people in the New Thought world. So these resources that are up on the website now, and we're hoping that you're going to submit some when you get off today, is weddings, ceremonies, rituals, pet blessings, all kinds of scripts that you can go to. There's talks and messages, meditations. So if you're trying to figure out something that you want to speak about or you need some help, go to this resource page, and there you'll find everything that you need. And if you can't find what you need, give me a call. I'll be glad to help you and find out whatever it is that we're missing that we need to get up there. But at any rate, I'm really, really calling out to you today. Take a look at this. And if you're a member, please support it by uploading your scripts, your talks, and things of that nature. And then because we have a growing number of members who are also authors, everybody's writing a book, y'all, and I'm next. We created a member benefit for them, which is called the authors page. Members can now promote their book for a one-time fee of only $75. And y'all, you can put 2 books up and upload onto the site for $100, which also includes your author's outlet where they can purchase that book. So that's very, very exciting there. You can see right there, they're scrolling. So promote your books. Like I said, it's right there. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call about that also. But that's very exciting. Next, Michelle touched on the Extraordinary Support Program a little bit, but I wanted to just give a little brief description, which to me helps fund programs and specialty needs for members. And like she said, there's leadership development classes, there's workshops on developing your independent ministry. And y'all, I have to say, I have benefited so very much from the ministry your way, your workshop your way. It's truly given me the path and helped me align what my missions and goals were. And now I'm just thriving in it. And so I suggest going to these workshops. And I guess we've touched on so much already, and I see little things I want to say, but they've been talked about. So I want to say this, I guess, before I stop, is the most important thing about being a member for me and why I'm still here and why I get involved to help on the membership committee is because of community, y'all. It's because community of loving, supportive, awesome, nurturing people like I've never had. And they're not just over there, they're around me, they're behind me, they're beside me, they're walking with me in my ministry. And so I get chills when I talk about it because I want y'all to have that too. I want you to feel that and to know what this community is about. And we're all about you and what can we do together. So finally, another way, y'all, and this is really important, is to get involved with ANTN in a deeper, more fulfilling way is by volunteering at our yearly conference. There are so many things that you can do to have fun and be in service. And I made a list and somebody told me not to read them, but I'm going to say it really quick. There's things like being a greeter at the doors, helping people get to certain buildings and classes and workshops, helping with the tech team, helping with the administration team. And I did last year was driving a golf cart, y'all, driving people over to the different buildings. It's a lot of fun. And so the most important thing is that we get to meet people. We get to make friends, long-lasting friends. So I know my time's about up. I'm looking at the clock. So the last thing I want to say is if you're not a member, I encourage you to consider becoming one because of all the reasons that we just talked about and all the resources that you get. You ain't going to get them nowhere else, y'all. So at any rate, join us and be a part of this family. And check out our website at antn.org, ANTN.org. And y'all, if you can't find something, my mission is to be here for you. Sherry and Mary Beth's mission is to be here for you. So that's why we're here. Make use of us, call us. I love you. Blessings to y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Brock. And I wanted to, there's a question in the chat, and I was going to bring this up anyway. If you would like to have access to the resource library, all you got to do is be a member, make sure that you're logged in, and you have access to all of the resources that are in there. If you'd like to submit something into the resource library, then there's a link on the resource library page. Basically, there's a brief orientation process that you get to go through. So instead of just emailing something and letting somebody else figure out what you meant, there is the possibility of you understanding how to format it so that it's going to fit into the program. And then what will happen is after the orientation, you'll actually be able to upload stuff yourself the way that you want to have it appear. And then the people in the membership committee who are working on that will fine tune and do a little bit of editing and make sure that what you're saying is what you want to be saying. And then it gets published to the entire membership. So the first step, if you want to do that, is to become a submitter in the resource library. And then you have the freedom to submit as much stuff as you want. And by the way, this is a work in progress. We've got a bunch of categories that are in there, which are categories. We started out with a lot more categories, and then it turns out these are the categories that people wanted to write stuff for. And there were a couple that we didn't have categories for, and people said, well, here's this, so we made a category for it. This is a work in progress. This is not a phone book that we're going to publish and it's going to start going stale. This is a living system where we get to continue to grow it. And Sherry, you must have known that we're about to do Q&A. There you are with your hand up in a queue.
Unmute yourself.
I am. I wanted to say about the resource library, it is such a fabulous idea. And don't worry if somebody else already said it. There are people, two people should say it, then no people should say it. We won't know it if you put it on there. And B, the topics are unlimited. You could put every talk you've ever given up there and somebody's going to say, oh boy, I'm set. Because we can download them, and when you download them, it's a Word document. You can edit it to suit the needs for what you're doing. So if there's something that's like, I put one up that's got a little anecdote about my life, and you just take that out, you plug yours in, and boom, you're ready to go. So go look at what's there, look at what you've got that you could share, and imagine the reach that gives you. If you put something up there and 6 people download it and use it, suddenly something you did in Texas is being done in Washington State and in Florida and in Canada. It's just a great opportunity, and I want to encourage everybody to jump on it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherry.
It's a wonderful opportunity. And this is something that we've been talking about for years, but we didn't really have a framework for doing it. And because of the way that the wild apricot is configured, we figured out how to do that inside of the system. So instead of it being onerous, it's just a matter of learn how to do it, and then we get the opportunity to open the channel with everybody else. Michelle?
Yes, Bill, could you just back up? Sometimes I need things to be very basic. You said the first step, if you want to submit something, very specifically, what does somebody do if they want to submit something?
All right, I'm going to share the screen again.
Thank you.
And what you're going to do is from the ANTN homepage, you go to the members menu. And by the way, you have to be signed in order to get the members menu. And on the resources page, the first one here, there's an invitation to submit resources. If you have material you believe would be helpful to your colleagues, would like to have them included, contact the administrator. You'll get a brief orientation of the process. Will be given access to make submissions. So not everybody who's a member automatically has the ability to make submissions, because that's like giving you car keys without driving lessons, and it might work, but it might not. So this is actually going to open up an email to the administrator that started out with, I'm interested in the resource library, and then John will very quickly connect you up with Brock, who will take you through the training. And it's a pretty simple process. There's one switch that we need to throw on the back of the wild apricot system, so you have access to it. For those in the know, when I go to members and resources, you'll see ceremonies and rituals and stuff. And there's another one called submit a resource. And what'll happen is after you've been through the orientation, you get to go into submit a resource. And then you'll be able to create a topic and put it in where you want to be putting that in. Again, you need to go through the process of saying, I want to be oriented for this. Raise your hand. You'll go through the process. It's pretty simple and straightforward. And then away we go. Great question, though. Thank you.
And real quick, Bill, to add to that, and once we get that uploaded, Reverend Sherry is going to look at it. She's our editor, and she's going to look at it and just make sure everything's in alignment with our New Thought mission and things of that nature. But I'm sure it will be. But at any rate, Sherry has agreed to look at them and help us know that everything is wonderful moving forward, to push that button to say submit. So thank you, Sherry.
Cool. Any other questions or comments for our Q&A portion of our program here?
Did you notice the questions in the chat? They're asking how many members are outside the US and how many members are there totally. Maybe John knows that.
John, help.
I'm gonna share my screen one more time and show you a little hidden pearl on the website. So we have this directory.
Could we get that big, please? Or is everybody seeing it big? I'm not.
You can switch to
Clear
speaker.
view and switch to speaker.
Thank you.
Yep, you can do that. So this is our directory, and it's got everybody and their contact information. If you've uploaded a picture to your avatar, it shows up in here. So please upload a picture to your avatar. And these are all the members. And members, by the way, if you go into your profile, you can choose which of your information is going to show up or not show up in the directory. But the fun thing that's on here is it says, oh, and there are 139 members, so that you know. And this thing that's still in progress here is the map view. And what happens on figures. So this is a Google map. Just imagine a Google map of the entire territory where we have members of ANTN, and there's a little flag on each of the 139 places. And this is undoubtedly, it's like digital arm wrestling between Wild Apricot and Google Maps to decide which one is going to do the work that's coming up next. But anyway, 139 members that are in the organization at this point, and there's an asterisk in there because some of those are the second members in an organization or a family, so it's technically one membership. But that's the number of folks who are showing up in the directory. So great question.
And what about international members? We have 2 Canadian members, I believe. And I don't know about beyond that.
Switzerland.
Oh, thank you. Fabulous.
Fiona's here. Woohoo. Thank you, Fiona. And yeah, there's really not a limitation now, other than when we say something's happening first thing in the morning. So perhaps it's going to be in the middle of the afternoon because we're not sure at that point. Reverend Paul Hoyt, anything that we want to cover before we go into our short break?
No, I think we should take a break.
Okay. We will definitely do that. So we've covered an awful lot of stuff now, and so your brain is starting to fill up. Hopefully, we got some more brain candy for you in the next segment. But the fun part is that we get to take a 10-minute break. It's 11 minutes after, so we're going to come back at 21 minutes after. And if you see that lovely picture of Ginger Coyle, who's somewhere on your screen, Ginger is a fabulously talented musician, conscious music for conscious souls, and she's going to sing a 15-minute set for us at 21 after. So make sure you come back for that. And by the way, you're welcome to stay in the call and just mute your microphone and turn off your video if you'd like. You don't have to click back in.
Dr. John.
opportunity to introduce Ginger Coyle. She's a very dear friend of mine. Amazing expression of the divine, beautiful voice, incredibly talented expression. She has written many of her own songs. She wrote a song out of Foundations when she finished Foundations. It was one of the many songs that she's written. But here is my dear friend, Ginger Coyle.
Oh, thank you, Paul. Good afternoon. Namaste. It is just an absolute honor and a blessing to be here and among the ANTN people that I've heard so much about since I walked into Center for Conscious Living in 2014. People that I've heard so much about was invited to sing there with a friend of mine, Norman Taylor. I was invited to sing there. As a singer-songwriter, I was writing songs that were maybe, on the verge of spirituality, on the verge of new thought, but they did have a lot of negative connotations and language. And when I was sitting in service, it all just really hit me like a load of bricks about my language and the things I was singing as an artist, and even just as a human being walking this planet. And I was inspired to challenge myself to start flipping around words, flipping the script, so to speak, with my language as a singer-songwriter. And over the past 9 years, I've kind of evolved in the sense, I call my music now soul music for conscious souls. So there's a record coming out. It's called Higher Frequency, and it's been those 9 years in the making. I'm holding it in my hand with such pride because this has been a labor of love for me. And I'm going to play 2 songs off of that, but first I just want to center us. Take a deep breath in. This is a chant that I'm working on. It's finished now because you're about to hear it. So the 4 M's that are in this song are magnetic, magnificent, magic, mystic. It's an affirmation. I am a magnetic, magnificent, magic, mystic. I am a magnetic, magnificent, magic, mystic. I am a magnetic, magnificent, magic, mystic. I am a magnetic, magnificent, magic, mystic, one with the earth, the trees, the air we breathe is like the breath of God. The sun, the moon, we're all in tune, we radiate this love. To the 4 M's. I am a magnetic, magnificent, magic, mystic. I am a magnetic, magnificent, magic, mystic. I am a magnetic, magnificent, magic, mystic. I am a magnetic, magnificent, magic, mystic, one with the earth, the trees, the air we breathe is like the breath of God. The sun, the moon, we're all in tune, we radiate with love. Thank you. So this next song is off the record. It's called Rise Up. And this is after I got out of my first New Thought celebration. I went home and started to challenge myself to write something positive. And I was going through some things, not gonna lie. And I feel like this was a channeling from my higher self, like a pep talk from my higher self. And I did steal a verse from Maya Angelou's "And Still I Rise," and I got permission eventually. That was the divine thing that happened, was I was eventually allowed to sing her verse. So this is my divine collaboration with Maya Angelou, and also inspired by Bob Marley. I went from nowhere to now here, and now here I am. And it feels so good to know where I stand. It feels so nice to know who I am. And it feels so good to get up and dance. Go ahead now. Just get up and dance. 'Cause I know better now than to let you steal my joy. So much better than to let your words destroy my vibe. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You got to rise up, darling, after you break the fall. Rise up, child, you've got to walk it off. Rise up, break the fall. You got to wise up, just get up and dance. Get up and dance. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. Tread me in the very dirt, still like dust I'll rise. Shoot me with your words, cut me with your eyes. Kill me with your hatefulness, but like the air I'll rise. I know better now than to let you dim my shine. So much better than to let your words employ my mind. Whoa, you got to rise up, darling, after you break the fall. Wise up, child, you've got to walk it off. Rise up, break the fall. You got to rise up, just get up and dance. Get up and dance. Just get up and dance. Just get up and dance. Thank you. And I see Sandy from New Thought Philadelphia grooving along. Shout out. So New Thought Philly was the next community that Bill's wife, Dina, had just so happened to be booking me as a singer-songwriter. When she got wind in secular venues, and when she got wind, she's like, I heard you were at New Thought. Or, yeah, that's the Center for Conscious Living. You know, my husband has New Thought Philadelphia. And so it just kind of one door opened that led to another door that opened, and it all pointed, you know, me to in the direction that this is where I need it to be. And I've been so grateful for these teachings. I've been so grateful for the communities that have just accepted me and embraced my music with unconditional love, and for just the inspiration in my life to create and co-create. So yes, thank you, Paul, for inviting me. Thank you, Bill, for having me here. And it's so wonderful to be here. I plan on joining ANTN. Absolutely. And if you're interested in hearing my music, it is on my website, soulmusicforconscioussouls.com. You can hear the whole thing. And I just want to also announce that I plan on going on a national tour the last quarter of this year. And if anybody is interested in having me come to your community, please reach out. There's a contact form on my page, or send Reverend Bill or Reverend Paul a message so that it gets to me. But I would love to expand and come visit and share this album and this music with everybody who wants me to be there. And once I get an idea of where I'm being called, I will map it out and I'll come see you. So here's my song Higher Frequency, which was inspired by Foundations. Everybody's waiting on a revolution. Lift the veil up from the grand illusion. I think first it's gonna take a revelation. Shift our minds and consciously awaken to the positivity human beings should be. Full of love and light and inner peace. Vibrate to a high frequency. Higher, higher, higher. When I was young, I looked for love in empty places. I got myself into some situations. Now I've grown, I know my past does not define me. And all the love I could ever need is here inside me. It took so long for me to see. It was waiting here for me. The love, the light, the inner peace. Watch me while I vibrate to a higher frequency. Higher, 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 higher. Walk the earth in search of every explanation, but be aware of your own co-creation. Take responsibility for your conditions, and don't forget the power of your own volition. There is joy just as there is pain. They are one and the same. It's a choice you choose to make. Choose to vibrate to a higher frequency. Higher, 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 higher. Break it down now. Now we're going to say an affirmation. I am love. I am light. I am inner peace. Now you. You are love. You are light. You are inner peace. Come on now. We are love. We are light. We are inner peace. Be the love. Be the light. Be the inner peace. Thank you all so much. I love you.
Oh, thank you,
Have a
Ginger
great
Coyle.
rest
We
of your
love you.
time.
Such a treat to have you in the middle of the day on a Friday. Don't have to wait for Sunday morning or for a bar to open.
Hey, thanks, Bill.
We mentioned earlier the gather and gab and the informal social activities. And it's an opportunity to get together with a smaller group of people and just connect on whatever we're going to connect on. We're not going to do that now. What we're going to do is we're going to go into breakout rooms, small groups, and the prompt in the room, and I'm going to put it in the chat so that you can see it. First off, did the earlier presentations bring up any questions? What would you like from your experience with ANTN? Perhaps that you're either not able to get now or that's there, but you didn't know how. Are there ways that you'd like to participate in ANT? And just for fun, there are some prompts like maybe volunteer at the annual retreat, or lead or take part in a local event or activity, lead or take part in an online event or activity. Maybe you love doing social media and you'd like to get involved in our social media, or do outreach to other people or something else. So that's all in the chat right now so that you can bring it with you. And by the way, the other thing you're going to get to bring into the breakout room with you is a member of the ANTN board of directors or executive director or administrator. So there's kind of a supervisor in the room to hope that sometime in the next 15 minutes you answer at least some of these questions a little bit. Is there a question that needs to be answered before we vanish into our breakout rooms? I know they were largely chosen at random, although I played favorites to some extent. No questions? Good. See you in 15 minutes.
I think I have been there too. I'm a seeker just like you. And you ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound. Unbound. Lay it all down, down, down. Lay it all down. Unbound. Open your mind and unfold your heart. Yeah.
Let's do something fun. Let's go on vacation. Let's take some time off just to do something fun with none of the usual to-do list that we have to deal with from day to day. And let's do it right now. And it'll only take a few seconds. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Take a break. Give yourself the gift of a moment. Allow yourself to stop doing and simply be. Because you are a bright light of love, and for you, being is more than enough. Today, I want to remind you to watch out for your yes. The fact of the matter is, the infinite creative power in the universe, the law, always says yes. Regardless of what the circumstance is, it always says yes. So when you say, I am prosperous, I am loving and loved, the answer is yes. And when you say something is a pain in the neck, or when you say you're sick and tired of something, the answer is yes. So choose carefully and be ready for your yes. You are a gift. That is the absolute truth. You are a gift, a blessing to the world, a way that the infinite love of God shines itself, shares itself, and expresses itself more fully in the world. You are a gift and a blessing. Please take that seriously. Take it as your honor. Take it as your opportunity to be a light that shines for others. Be that bright light of God's love that's the truth of who you are. And enjoy it, because you deserve it.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors and donors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown Atlanta, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Spiritual Center, Kitchener, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Center for Spiritual Living, North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, Center for Spiritual Living, Seattle, and all of our individual donors and sponsors. Thank you for being a part of the New Thought Media Network. Please come be you.
'cause I think I have been there too. I'm a seeker just like you, and you ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here, so take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound. Unbound. Lay it all down, down, down. Lay it all down. Unbound. Open your mind and unfold your heart. Yeah.
I gotta think that that's what's like it to be on a transporter in Star Trek. Like you sort of disappear from one room and there's like, where'd all these people come from? Boom, there they go.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was an awesome group out thing. Thank you. That was really cool.
Wonderful. Board member folks, if there are follow-up notes, make sure that you get those over to Michelle Whittington so that she can compile them. Especially the people who raise their hands to volunteer for stuff. Ooh, top of the list. Anton loves volunteers. Anton loves so that she can. And by the way, you're Michelle. You're raising your hand. Are you volunteering for something?
No, yes, I am. Everything. But there was a question raised in my group I could not answer, but Bill, you can. So I would, and it relates to volunteer. How do people sign up to volunteer at the retreat?
They email either the administrator, and he will forward that to me. And I'm saying that's going to be easy because admin@anton.org is all over the website. Or get in touch with me directly. And between me and Martha Creek, we will slot you in. And actually, that's a great question because it leads into the next segment. But I'm going to ask before I just sort of segue into the next segment if there are any other questions, anything else that came up that ought to be addressed now. Denny, is that your hand up? You're muted.
Yeah. Trying to get it. Sorry.
Okay.
One of the questions was, will the Your Ministry, Your Way be offered again virtually or by recording?
We don't have plans to offer it again, but it is, the first one is recorded. I'm saying with some hesitancy in my voice, and I turn to our IT guru, Bill. That's true, right? It's on YouTube?
I think so. That was like in 1987 or last December, right?
It was last November. Yes.
I believe so. And it's probably an unlisted one because there's some personal sharing in there. So get a hold of Michelle, Michelle at anton.org. And then she will follow up with that for you.
And make sure that you'll notice that there's one L in my name, but so if you put two, Michelle at anton.org with two L's, I won't get it. And then you'll wonder why I've never responded to you. So I'm unusual in lots of ways, but one reason because I have one L in my name.
And yes, technologically wise, it would be easy to forward Michelle with two L's to Michelle with one L, but she has an attitude about the two L thing. So we're not doing that. You're just gonna have to learn.
I do have an attitude about it, but we won't go into that right now.
One of the comments that I got, which we actually anticipated as we were scheduling this virtual town hall for 3 hours on a Friday, is that it's a fire hose of information. And completely understand there's a lot of stuff. It is really easy to get overwhelmed. I encourage you, if it starts getting overwhelming, to stand up and stomp your feet a little bit, shake your head, wave your hands around just to shake it off a little bit. The idea is not for you to learn everything that there is to know about Anton in 3 hours. The idea is to come in and think of this as the all-you-can-eat buffet. So we've got all this stuff spread out, and we just want you to get a taste of each thing and know that it's there, so that if you want to do something later, like, oh, what about that gather and gab thing? When is that? You can go to the website and find it. And if you are looking for a ceremony or a ritual, you say, is there a pet blessing that we can, and remember that it was in there, and then either look on the website, which is where we keep all of our stuff, or contact the administrator and you will be pointed in the right direction. So the idea is not that this is going to be the last thing that we need to do. This is just the next one in the sequence. PJ and then Sherry.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to raise my hand, so I do actually raise my hand. But I said in my breakout, and I might have been lying, but I think don't we record pretty much everything we do, because people are talking about time frames and not being able to attend some things. So I'm thinking that we record pretty much everything we do, right? Virtually, anyway.
Yes, we record the annual retreat. This is being recorded. Actually, it's being live streamed, and it automatically records. And thanks again to New Thought Media Network for making that happen.
And then
Thought Leader Thursday is recorded, and select other things are recorded. As I kind of alluded to before, if there is a workshop event where there's going to be personal sharing, if that is recorded, it's not necessarily just shared with the public because it's personal stuff that's in there. So yes, we do that.
Where
Sherry?
would they find the things that we?
So all on everything that's been published is on our YouTube channel, Anton Members and Friends on YouTube. And oh, by the way, if you go to the website, at the bottom of every page in the footer are the links to our YouTube channel and to Facebook, the Facebook page and the Facebook group.
Thank you.
Want to make this easy. Sherry.
Yeah, this is under in the category of better I should tell you when you don't need it than I should not tell you when you do. Something I taught computer science for 35 years. And my favorite thing about computers is a bookmark. And you know, I have Anton bookmarked on my computer. So all I have to do is click right there. I don't have to go hunt for it. I don't have to type anything. I just reach up there and click. So I strongly encourage all of you to go to anton.org and then hit the little star in the address bar so that you'll have a bookmark and you won't ever have to type it all again.
There you go.
Great.
Thank you, Sherry. Jeff, and then we're going to get on and talk about the retreat.
What's that?
Go ahead. You got a question?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Concerning the book, is there going to be an electronic edition for an e-reader at some point?
Good question.
I live in a rather sizable house, but I've got very small rooms and no more room for books. But my Kindle can hold a zillion of them.
But it would also help out visually impaired and the people with learning disabilities.
Okay.
Great idea.
Michelle Whittington is writing that down now. And we have the content, so it's the sort of thing that we actually know how to do. So
Awesome.
a great idea and a great prompt. And I am so glad, Jeff, that you didn't say make it into an audio book, which is a much
No, I get too distracted with audiobooks and I end up going back and listening over and over and over again, and I never get it.
Yeah. And for me, it's like, Bill, you have a nice voice.
But if you decide you want to do an audiobook, I used to work in radio.
Okay.
I'd be more than happy to read it aloud.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's my volunteer.
I love when that I love when that happens.
Thank you.
That's going to segue us into talking a little bit about the Emergence, which is the annual retreat that we have. That's at Unity Village. It's the first week in October, the first full week in October. And by the way, in an effort to make this really easy for the next 3 or 4 years, it's going to be at Unity Village the first full week in October. So you can actually project ahead. And this is not us thinking, oh, that's what we want to do. It's actually booked with deposits on hand at Unity Village. Going to follow up with some of the commentary that we've gotten previously from folks about the retreat. Some people said, well, it's not really as much of a retreat as it is a conference. And it started out being a conference. So it's an opportunity for ministers to get together and talk about minister stuff. And as ANTN has grown and transformed, some people said, well, more people who are individual members than are pulpit ministers, we have changed our focus. And we started calling it a retreat last year. And the challenge we run into is people say, well, I don't get time to be on a retreat. And there's the balance point. I don't want people to have to go all the way to Kansas City to Unity Village and then not have anything scheduled, because some folks don't want to miss anything, but they also want to be able to take a nap every afternoon. So the way that the ANTN retreat is set up this year is there's activities in the morning. So we'll do yoga and meditations and so forth. And then after breakfast, we'll do a morning session, which will feature music. That'll be in the main conference room. And then beginning with lunch and going until either a late afternoon event or the evening event, we will have what we're calling sacred time, which is going to be much less structured. So it's going to be individual activities where you can get together with a small group and do a meditation or do Tai Chi or do a nature walk or go to the Unity Prayer Vigil or take a tour of the campus or the Unity archives. There's lots and lots of stuff that we can do as smaller groups. Or go on a shopping spree in Lee's Summit, Missouri. There's got to be something to buy there. I'm sure Sherry will be happy to tell us all about it. So whatever sings to you, to be able to get together in a small group and do that. We have some wonderful people who are going to be at the retreat, several of whom, when they get an opportunity to just be informal and do stuff, will do that. So you have an opportunity to sing, possibly with people like PJ Stanley and Daniel Nahmod. You'll have, and Marcy Baruch. And just to do that, not as we're going to have a huge event and make it happen, but as an opportunity to make that part of your spiritual practice. So there will be plenty going on, but it will not be sitting in the conference room with your notebook in your lap. That said, this is also going to be a hybrid retreat. So people who are not going to travel to Unity Village will be able to take part. All of the morning and afternoon and evening sessions are going to be live streamed on Zoom, so you'll be able to participate. We've gotten pretty good at doing that, so you can participate remotely. But during those afternoon sessions, there is the opportunity for the folks who are going to be remote to host a sacred time activity. So if you're interested in something like that, again, get in touch with us, email admin@antn.org and say, I got an idea for this. It doesn't need to be fully fleshed out. If it's just like, I want to do something, don't know exactly what it's going to be, we can work that out, because we have 6 months before the retreat is going to happen. So we have some runway in order to put those pieces together. The retreat itself is going to be absolutely spectacular. Our music director is Daniel Nahmod. We are opening the Monday celebration with a concert with Daniel Nahmod and Nemo Patel. It is going to be absolutely spectacular. Nemo is going to be doing a keynote for us. Jafon Seeley is doing a keynote for us. And some people who are involved in the ANTN retreat and are also fans of the Big Sky retreat said, well, Jafon is going to be at the Big Sky retreat too. So I talked to Jafon and I said, you're going to do something different for us, right? He says, oh yeah, completely different. So even if you're going to be at both, you're going to see something different at the two of them. And there's lots of richness and lots of possibility that's coming up there. We do an auction. We do a banquet. We have awards we give out and the things that we share. We get to walk the Unity Village Labyrinth, which is now the largest hand-cut stone labyrinth in North America. It is absolutely spectacular. The folks who were at the retreat last year are going to be surprised to hear that the grand opening is in May, because we got a chance to do a moonlight walk on the labyrinth last year. And we even got permission for it. We have a talent show, so you get to share your share your gifts with the group. There's lots and lots of possibilities. So if you're not already registered, it's on the website, which is where? ANTN.org. And we are still in early bird special time. There's a question about that in the chat. I'm not going to answer that question because it's on the website. I will tell you that if you register today, you get the early bird rate. If you want to wait, do your homework. And there is also an early bird discount for the virtual registration, because we want to know who's going to be there and when. If you're going to be on site at Unity Village, the really fun place to stay is at the Unity Village Conference Center. The rooms are very close to being sold out at this point, so make a reservation sooner rather than later. Contact them directly, because ANTN has a block on all the rooms there, so that nobody's planning personal retreats for the space at that time. So call the front desk. If there's not a room available, make sure you get yourself put on the waiting list, because sometimes somebody reserves a room and their friend reserves a room and they're both planning to share with their friend, and it turns out they only need one of the two rooms. So there's a little bit of motion there. Also, if you have a bunch of friends, there are 3 Airbnb lodgings on the premises at Unity Village, and those are also available. Again, that stuff is all available on the website at antn.org. You can go and you can look there. And if you've looked there and you think that there's something that hasn't been covered, please contact John, administrator, admin at antn.org, and he will put you in touch with the appropriate person. I'm going to stop talking.
Hey, Bill, really quickly, there's a message in the chat asking if someone can submit a proposal to do a workshop at the retreat.
Absolutely. There's plenty of time for sacred time activities. You can email me. It's revbill@newthoughtphilly.org. Or if that went by too quickly, send it to admin@antn.org, and John will forward it in my direction.
Awesome.
And there's a lot of flexibility for doing those, because we're not limited to there's going to be a 90-minute segment and a 60-minute segment, because we have sacred time in the afternoon. And if there's something that takes 3 hours, you can do it. If there's something that takes 20 minutes, you can do it. If you want to play board games with people, then if it's going to be Boggle, it's going to take a little while. If it's going to be Monopoly, it's going to take a little while longer. It's up to you. We're flexible.
Thank you, Bill.
Sure. Did I go over my own time? Cool. Well, we're in Q&A. So am I done with the Q&A yet? I think I am. Again, we're trying not to do the fire hose here. If there are any questions, please follow up with us. A lot of the stuff is on the website, and if not, ask and we will answer. And if 3 people ask the same thing, then we'll put it on the website, because obviously it's something we missed.
Carolyn
has a question.
Yes, if you plan to attend virtually, are you open to workshops being done virtually?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely, yes. Donna?
Is there parking at Unity Village for, let's say, a motorhome or anything like that?
There was a question about that last year, and the answer was no, because they were in the process of building the hookups. But if they were in the process of building the hookups, then the answer is possibly yes now. So I would say contact the Unity Village Conference Center, and they will be able to tell you whether because parking is not going to be an issue. It's going to be all the amenities like getting electricity and water.
Okay, so if we just park, that's fine. We just because that could be,
Yeah, I would say go ahead and contact the conference center, because they'll be able to answer that correctly. And you do not want me telling you what to do with an RV, because I'm not your RV guy.
Okay, thank you.
Bill, I will add to that, just so that she knows that last year our musicians had a RV that they parked, and Unity did help them find a space further back out. But I don't know that that'll happen again. But just so you know, if you call and ask them, they'll probably try to accommodate you.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
fantastic. Thank
wonderful,
you.
Wonderful thing about working with the folks at Unity Village is that we love them and they love us. They're very supportive and accommodating. And it's, if you haven't been to Unity Village before, it is definitely a bucket list thing for people who are in New Thought. It's the largest New Thought property in North America, and it's just got something wonderful.
Is it pet friendly yet, or?
Really? I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Let's switch over to Rock.
Okay, Robert. Okay. All right. So let us then move forward. Bill, thank you so much. So there is the affiliated New Thought Network, ANTN, that we've been talking about, which is the membership organization of New Thought centers and churches, as well as individuals. There is also Emerson Theological Institute, which is the kind of our educational sister. We are separate organizations, and there's been ongoing confusion, is a strong word, but confusion, for lack of a better word, about who does what to who. And does ANTN license? Does Emerson license? Does ANTN provide degrees and those kinds of things? And so we wanted to include, and we love to include this conversation every time there's an opportunity to make us as a community, the larger New Thought community, more and more aware of the incredible things that ANTN does and the incredible things that Emerson does. And so Reverend Dr. John Karn, who is also our ANTN administrator, is here to talk to us about Emerson and give us the elevator sales pitch plus a little.
All right. Well, thank you, Jerry. One of the things I've noticed since I've been working for ANTN is that Emerson, well, somebody will want to join, and when I tell them I need their, if I need some background credential or something like that, they will say, well, I graduated from Emerson in 2010. Can't you just open a file and get that? And the deal is, ANTN and Emerson are two different organizations. ANTN is not tasked with keeping up with your credentials. ANTN is, pretty much what you're seeing today. It's an opportunity to connect and love through the New Thought Network. Emerson is a school that about 32 years ago affiliated with ANTN at ANTN's request to have a school with them. And you'll find most of the members, originally you will find most of the members were Emerson graduates. Nowadays, you will see they are from CSL, they're from Unity, they are independent thought leaders. We have independent churches or spiritual centers that have never been affiliated with CSL or Unity that are also members. So Emerson's job is the school and providing you with a credential if you choose to go to it. And it's not required to be a member of ANTN. I had some thoughts. Oh, I know what it is. We have Missy Higginbotham here, who is the new director of education for Emerson, as Angie is slowly, working his way to retirement. Missy has developed 64 classes in the short time that she's been with Emerson, and they are more towards consciousness studies and transcendence studies. As any organization, CSL or anyone else out there, is seeing more students going that path than going through what used to be the tradition for us, going straight through to ministerial school or practitioner or licensed Unity teacher. So our focus is shifting to the thought leaders, to the people that want to expand their consciousness. And when I say our, I mean as Emerson. I'm a department head for one of the areas of Emerson. In the areas that she's written new classes, she's reached out to me because I have also written classes in a completely different department, such as stewardship of the earth, eco-spirituality, all sorts of interesting ways to be of service to the planet. And there is no reason to prevent someone on the Emerson side from having that access to the course. So we're very happy with how it's going. Feel free to email me anytime if you have a question. Is there anything, Jerry, that you wanted to circle back to?
Yes, thank you, John and Missy, for that. Just a couple of points of clarification. Even if you are an Emerson graduate, that does not mean you're an ANTN member. So we have a close relationship with Emerson and always have. And as a matter of fact, Reverend Dr. Missy sits on the ANTN board as the Emerson representative. So we have a loving, nurturing relationship between the two organizations. But if you are an Emerson graduate, and you can reach John at admin, ADMIN, at anton.org. You can, so even though you're an Emerson graduate, we still invite you to join and become part of ANTN, but because they're separate organizations, are, like John was talking about before, we are not able to walk across the room and open the filing cabinet and get documentation, because we're two separate organizations with two separate purposes in life. Anybody have top of mind? We have just a couple of minutes. Top of mind questions about this, or something that's come up for you that we could answer right at this moment?
Jerry, I've got one little phrase, if I may say it really quick. I wanted to just mention that Emerson is the educational tool, like you said earlier, and it's where we go to learn and where we go to become a minister or become whatever it is that we want to become. And it's ANTN that helps us put our feet on the ground. It's ANTN that helps us get out there and know what to do once we've learned how to be a minister. What do we do now that we are a minister, or now that we're a teacher or a practitioner, or whatever it is that we're doing in our spiritual world? So I always like to look at it as Emerson teaches us, and then ANTN teaches us how to actually put our feet on the ground and go do it.
And I wanted to add something to that too, because in the past, Emerson had been strictly the ministerial path. And what we had sat down and looked at was, well, what's next? You know, we do a lot of stewardship with ministerial, or we're out there doing, whether it's independent ministries, but then what? A lot of us get that call to we want to learn something more, or we want to do a different learning with consciousness, and we're out there looking for classes or teachers. And so Angie and Still and Sandy and I sat down and said, okay, how do we go across the bridge from the becoming to beingness? And that's what we started developing all those classes for. So we have different prongs of approach. So we have this whole ministerial, we have this transcendence and wisdom studies, and we have the humane studies where we do with the non-human parts of creation, but also where we're going to go more into the stewardship, into eco. There's lots of ministries out there that deal with earth, that deal with the prisons, that deal with homeless. And how do we serve? And John and I and Brock, and we talk. How do we serve, and how can we serve? And that's what we're here in and how we are coming together with ANTN is to develop ways to serve and to brainstorm ways to serve, so that we can help you grow to be the best and most authentic self that you want to be and can dream about being.
So Missy, if someone was interested in more information in the listing of courses available, I believe it's emersoninstitute.edu.
That is correct.
Is the website. So just amazing people, obviously, that we love and adore. So please, if you're interested in that, they do animal chaplaincy. They do just an amazing, thank you, just an amazing a catalog of courses and courses of study. So please do feel free to reach out to them for more information. But again, be aware that they are a separate, wonderful, separate organization from ANTN. Yes, one last thing. John, one last thing.
One thing that came to mind, and this is about ANTN. ANTN is the organization that is completely open, completely free. When you come into ANTN and say, I want to do such and such, this is an organization that will come to you and uplift you. How can we help you make that happen? I think of us as like a mastermind group. No matter how out there your idea is, or it might seem to me, that idea is the divine creativity coming through you. So how can we be of service to that? So that's what you will find with ANTN. Everyone is here to uplift you and to help you bring forward that idea.
Sherry, Reverend Sherry Johnson just reminded me in our breakout session that what ANTN is a group that says yes. We're always looking to say, how can we say yes to whatever it is you're trying to do? And that's what we do. We say yes.
That's what we do. Yes, right.
So we are.
Right, Reverend Dr. PJ, thank you very much. Okay, Missy and John, thank you so much. So on the last Thursday of every month, we do this most amazing event called Thought Leader Thursday, and our beloved Reverend Dr. PJ Stanley is the coordinator of that, and she is here to tell us more about that.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Jerry. It's just a little brief story. So we're at the conference and we're having a board meeting, and Jerry says, he's the president. He says, so yes, we're going to need a new Thought Leader Thursday. And he kind of zooms in and looks at me. I'm thinking, okay, so I guess that's mine to do. And so I didn't really know what it was and what I mean, I've been to it, but I didn't really know what mine was to do. But since then, the mission that I've come up with that feels right for me for Thought Leader Thursday is that we're just helping. Thought Leader Thursday is for all new thought leaders, no matter what your ministry is, whether you're an individual minister, whether you're a cashier at a store and you're speaking new thought wherever you go, because new thought is a living spirituality. So we lead and we teach and we are that by everything we say and do. So no matter what you are, whether you are a pulpit ministry or a minister or a practitioner or a lay person, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are a leader in New Thought. You see yourself as a leader in New Thought. That's what Thought Leader Thursday is for. And the mission is to serve the people who are coming to Thought Leader Thursday by having speakers who share their lived experiences of New Thought and how their lived experiences, what they learned from that, and sharing what they've learned to others. Their authentic sharing of what they've learned, and no matter what the topic will be, it is. And we've had some great topics. We've had some teary eyes. We've had some laughter. We have a lot of things. We talk about forgiveness, grief, relationships, love, leadership, how to have whatever it is you're trying to do. And everyone who shares, whether it's the speaker or it's a person in the audience who has a question, who wants to comment, everyone comments authentically from their hearts and from their lived experiences and what their concerns are or where they want to go. And so it's just I think, not because I'm running it was this way before I became the host, but this is always what Thought Leader Thursday has been. So we encourage you, we invite you to come, to bring friends, to share this wonderful platform for hearing great ideas, great experiences, sharing, giving your thoughts, asking your questions. Every final Thursday of every month, we have it, and it starts, I think, 9 o'clock Pacific time to 1 o'clock Eastern time. So I've invited a couple of people who regularly attend Thought Leader Thursday to talk about why they come. And so I'm going to go ahead and ask Mitch, if that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and ask you to share just briefly, about a minute or so, and then Betty, I'll ask you to share.
Thank you, PJ, and I feel honored to support this program for ANTN, and also being a newly minted member. So excited to be part of ANTN and proud. I enjoy New Thought Leader Thursdays. What captured my attention was Thought Leader. And the first one that I heard speak was Milagros Phillips, who's outside of ANTN, but she's on the cutting edge of race healing. And I loved how her race healing also aligned with New Thought principles. So I really enjoyed the granular material. It's really rich, the engagement and the depth of how we go deep. I also went to Michelle Wadley's forgiveness discussion, brilliant, enriching, and all stuff I think we can use in one way or another in whatever capacity we are involved in New Thought. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Mitch. Thank you. Yeah, we saw that. Thank you very much, Reverend Paul, for putting that book up, Cracking the Healer's Code. Thank you. Betty, what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts actually have been articulated, but that's okay. So I'll just say ditto to everything that has been said, but must add something else. I mean, I can't have an opportunity to talk and not say what I'm thinking. So for me, at first I went to the website, and I've already said this, to join ANTN, and it talked about ministers and ministers and ministry. And so I thought, well, I got to find something where that talks about individual ministry. And that's what Thought Leadership Thursday, that's how it was defined. And so I see it as a moment around when I was growing up. My grandparents used to have a day or night where we sit around the fireplace. And even the little girl that I was could talk. Other times, they wanted me to stay quiet, but we could talk. We could ask questions and so that's what this is for me. It's like a moment around the fireplace. And I did find out, I have to say that ANTN is not about ministers on stage, as opposed to defining your individual ministry. And that moment, however, to have a conversation with with the leader of the star of the day, and I know we all are leaders, but to have those conversations and to ask questions, and not only ask questions, but make statements that I'm sure have enhanced the work of the person or the individual that's presenting at the time. So it is about supporting, it's about healing, it's about encouraging others in new thought directions as we define and work toward our own particular ministry. So it is my fireplace moment.
Thank you. I love that. I feel like I need to change the name. That's such a great moment. The Thought Leader Thursday fireside. Just so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. And for all of you who have attended, you know what it is for you. For those of you who have not, I really highly encourage you to take a moment. If you have it on the final Thursday of the month, to stop by, to take a listen. We have some great speakers. There's some speakers here today that I'll be talking with. I'm looking at all of you, and I'm going to be speaking with you about what we can talk about on Thought Leader Thursday. So if you have any questions, please put it in the chat. I will answer what I can. And if I can't answer the question, I will get back to you with an answer. But it's a wonderful, wonderful time. And so thank you so much. I think it's an hour. It's just 1 hour. I didn't tell you what the time frame is. It's exactly 1 hour. The speaker has about 50 minutes, and then everyone is encouraged to ask questions, to comment, to be involved in what's going on. So not just sitting there listening. You're actually actively involved. So thank you so much.
PJ, thank you so much. A couple of points of clarification. Thought Leader Thursday is open to everyone. So whether you're a member or not, you are welcome to attend. And if you're part of a spiritual community, everyone in your spiritual community is welcome to attend as well. If you're not available to attend on the last Thursday of the month, all of the recordings are posted on our YouTube channel, which is ANTN Members and Friends. Yes. So again, ANTN Members and Friends to go for the recordings from previous months. Do you know off the top of your head, who's the guest for March?
Oh, the guest for March is Robert Brzezinski from New Thought Media Network.
Oh, yes. And he's the one that asked the question. So, well, there you go. Yes. So we, subtle, Robert, very subtle. So we look forward to that later this month. Thank you so much. All right. So PJ, thank you so much for that. Reverend Gay Beauregard is our treasurer, and she is here to talk about the opportunity for lifetime memberships.
Okay. Thank you, Jerry. This is again a new category that has just been come up recently. It came up actually when we were at our retreat this last October there at Unity Village, and we had a couple people step forward, and it's interesting because what the benefit of it obviously is that you don't have to think about and renew your membership every year. It's an automatic thing. It's a lifetime thing, and we've had people step up into lifetime memberships to support ANTN. Now I'm going to get teary, who are like in their 80s, you know, and it's just a beautiful way to support us. And I'll tell you, looking at our financials this year, just in January versus last year, what a shot in the arm we have received financially from these people who have stepped up and done that. And so I highly recommend it. Also, as long as we're on that kind of a subject, our legacy program, if you look in ways that you can give, think about, and I know Michelle touched on this earlier too, but I have done that with myself, with my different accounts that I have, my retirement accounts, that I've taken one in particular one, and I have divvied it up between ANTN and my church and Unity and Science of Mind and all of those things. So think about, you know, when you transition, how you want the funds that are left that are in your name to go to these organizations, these New Thought organizations. And we have been gifted recently with a second trust deed on a property from a family that wanted to support New Thought. So every month we're going to be getting a nice sizable check just because someone remembered us and wants to keep the New Thought energy moving forward. So anyway, and if you got any questions, let me know. And but thank you all so much for being here and sharing who you are and what you are. You're all magnificent. Thank you.
Reverend Gay, thank you so much, and thank you for all you do for ANTN and in the world. It is 11:30 Pacific time, so my question is, what's come up for you that we haven't talked about? Any questions, comments, suggestions, desires, anything that you'd like for us to talk about before we finish up? Yes, Reverend Sherry.
Well, actually, I would like to make a suggestion.
Okay.
I think that the lifetime membership idea is wonderful, but it's only available to individuals for obvious reasons. However, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I've got two suggestions. One of them is you could have a pulpit ministry lifetime that would be based on the term of service of its minister. So they could pay a certain fee that would cover them for as long as that minister is in the pulpit. And then when that person retires, they start over with a new one. And then there'd be people like me who don't have a pulpit. And I could see saying, all right, I pay $250 a year. How about if I pay you $1,000 and it covers me for 5 years? And then in 5 years, I pay you another $1,000 and it covers me for the next 5 years. So just for you guys to think about, that's not a decision you can make on your own or at this moment, but okay. I think it would expand it would expand everything. It would expand the availability of lifetime. It would give a discount to everybody, would have a discount available to them. And, especially in this country, I don't know about Canada and Switzerland, but in this country, we just love a bargain.
Okay.
Thank you, Sherry. That gives us something to talk about at the next board meeting.
Right. Yes, indeed. Okay.
As if we
You
didn't
don't have much to talk about.
Right.
Those
There's nothing already.
Yes.
I wanted to answer a couple of quick questions that had come up in the chat because I noticed that in fact it was not on the it was not on the website, when the early registration expires, and it's actually the end of July. July 31st is the end of early registration. And by the way, it's now posted on the website. Speaking of the website, there are some accommodations that are still available at Unity Village. The Fillmore Manor, the entire home, 4 bedrooms, 5 beds, 2 bathrooms. The Hummingbird Vista is also available on the property, and the Hummingbird Chateau. If you are interested in one of those properties and you try and reserve it through Airbnb, it's going to come up being unavailable because Unity has actually held it for us. And oh, by the way, there's a 20% discount if you're interested in getting that. So get a hold of us and we will put you in one of these wonderful accommodations. So if you have a bunch of people who you'd like to travel with and hang out with and be in one of these magnificent restored old buildings on the property. And you don't have to cook because you still get all the meals included with the registration. Again, admin@anton.org.
Thank you for that. Yes, Michelle and then PJ.
So I just see a question about the Parliament of World Religions and how is Anton participating in that. The Parliament of World Religions happens in Chicago in August of this year, and Anton will have an amazing presence there. I already know of many people who are going to be part of the Anton delegation. If I don't know about you already, please let me know if you're going. I'm kind of spearheading our group. New Thought, this is very exciting. New Thought has been approved to do 3 panel presentations at the Parliament. This is a big deal. Barbara Field of the Association for Global New Thought has spearheaded kind of getting these proposals put in, and 3 of them got accepted. I'm going to be on one of those panels. Very excited, a little nervous, but very excited about being on one of those panels. So Anton will be represented. If you are planning to go, and I don't know that already, please let me know because I'm just getting ready to send out some information to our Anton delegation. Thanks, Steve, for asking that question.
Thank you. Yes. Anybody else? Last chance. Questions, comments, suggestions, anything?
Jerry?
Yes.
Is Reverend Paul? PJ, I hope I'm not overstepping bounds, but I think we talked about this. For Thought Leader Thursday, if you've got somebody you'd like to see on Thought Leaders Thursday, let us know. Give us suggestions, and we'll put them on.
Yeah, with contact information.
Yes. Yep.
Yes, please.
Yeah, great. Paul, thank you for that. So Peggy, the Parliament of World Religions meets every 4 years? Because the question is, what is the Parliament of World Religions? Meets every 4 years, I believe, and it is world religions and has happened all over the place. Okay, so Michelle, okay. You have something else. So let me just answer this question. So representatives from every major world religion will be included in this experience. And Dr. Bill, thank you for that. Peggy, there's the link to the Parliament's website if you'd like to go on and take a look. Michelle, last thing.
Last thing. So late breaking news, so exciting. We did this amazing book finished an amazing book in 2022. We are going to do a second book of inspirational stories of overcoming challenges, applying New Thought principle. It is a book to be used for inspiration, for new ideas, for new thoughts. How's that? So in our Anton newsletter that just came out yesterday, at the very bottom of that, if you have read through it, there's a little blurb about the book. It's brand new. We have the idea just got approved by our board on March 1st. And so we will be publicizing your ability to submit articles or poetry or artwork. We wanted to have a variety of things and a lovely flavor of different things. You do need to be a member of Anton to participate in this book. It doesn't cost you anything to participate. but you do need to be a member. We're really excited. Carla Ryan has agreed to spearhead a lot of the background work. So thank you, Dr. Carla, for your amazing consciousness, your heart, your yes. And we are going to create a second fantastic book. My hope is that it gets published. Well, my hope would be for this conference, but I don't think that's I don't think that's going to happen. But certainly by the conference in 2024.
So thank you for that. Yet another reason why, if you're not a member yet, today would be a very good day to go to anton.org and start the process. It is 11:39 now, and it is my privilege to introduce our musician, Melinda Wood Allen. Welcome to our gig.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. Yay! So glad to see you all. Some familiar faces and some new faces. So next 15 minutes is mine. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Awesome. Well, I'd like to start us off with a song that has a little bit of humor in it, because it's always nice to have a little humor to our spirituality. And it is on a subject that is very close to my heart, learning to live from the inside out rather than the outside in. I want to be living from the inside out, only way to happiness without a doubt. Sounds so simple, but it's all about living from the inside out. Oh, living from the inside out. I'm tooling around town in my brand new car, smiling and nibbling on a chocolate bar. Then a traffic jam puts me in a spin. Suddenly I'm outside in. Well, how come every time I'm feeling fine, something outside messes up my mind? My life ain't working when I scream and shout. Gotta live it from the inside out. I space. Hold the space for love. Thank you. Keep holding that space. Just keep trying to hold that space. And the next one I would like to sing for you is a very personal song. I'll just say that. It's a true story. I used to think I had to have my own way, could do everything all on my own. Living my life like a one-woman play, feeling confused and alone, till I kept holding tight to the life that I knew, till it wasn't the life I remembered. Finally admitting I hadn't a clue, I opened my arms in surrender. And I made room for grace. I just stepped aside and opened up a space, so the blessings arrive every day, since I made room for grace. Now I want to live without making demands, asking for help when I need it, being happy just doing the best that I can. And when I stumble, I won't be defeated. When I make room for grace, I just step aside and open up a space, so the blessings arrive every day. When I make room for grace. Now when I kept insisting on all that I wanted, I see how I sold myself short. But when I stopped resisting, I got what I needed and so much more. When I made room for grace, I just stepped aside and opened up a space. Now the blessings arrive when I made room for grace. I just stepped aside and opened up a space. Now the blessings arrive every day when I made room for grace. When I made room for grace. Thank you. So I think we have time for one last song, and it's one I didn't write, but it's one of my favorite ones to sing. You will recognize it. Sing along if you feel like it. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright, blessed day and the dark, sacred night, and I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also in the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Absolutely amazing. Melinda, thank you so very much. Do you have a website?
I do, melindawoodallen.com, all for just the three names.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So beautiful. Great to meet you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Lovely. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. All right, everyone, thank you so much for spending a portion of your Friday with us. It has been a great joy and privilege. My thanks to everyone who attended. My thanks to the board and our staff, and Reverend Paul Hoyt. Would you be kind enough to pray us out?
It would be my privilege. Everyone will take a nice deep breath and breathing in this retreat, feeling that grace that Melinda was talking about, knowing that peace, that beauty, that infinite possibility, that ultimate power in the universe that is the divine, basking in it, knowing we are one with it and one with each other. Giving thanks for the opportunity to get together and share and be informed and expand. Giving thanks for this organization that is ANTN, that is the mission to expand the consciousness of the world through new thought. Giving thanks for everyone that was here today, because we do this together. It is not alone. It takes a village, and everyone's consciousness expands, and we give thanks for that. We give thanks for this board of ANTN that works together, that is of one mind, that is open and receptive and speaks and moves and acts from that divine mind. We give thanks for this retreat, this opportunity to get together and share and love and expand, knowing that this retreat is the opening point for us through the next few months to the retreat in October, knowing that we are so grateful for all of the gifts of the divine, that we are so open and grateful for all the good and more good. And in this good and more good, we say, and so it is.
So it is. Thanks, everybody. Hope to see you in October.